Why does God choose certain people to be his chosen? Why Noah? Why Job? Why Jeremiah? The answer is simple yet profound. Before a thought was ever born in our hearts, before we were even formed in the womb, God already knew us. He knew who could stand firm among the corrupted. He knew who could endure the fire, who could withstand the test of faith, and who would still cling to him when the world turned away. Among these chosen ones was Jeremiah. Who is Jeremiah? One of the most important prophets in the Bible, known as the weeping prophet. His life was marked by sorrow, but also by unshakable faith. God called Jeremiah while he was still young. "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." From the very beginning, his mission was clear: stand as God's voice in a time of rebellion. But Judah would not listen. They turned to idols, corrupt kings, and false prophets. Jeremiah stood almost alone, warning that judgment was coming, that Babylon would conquer Jerusalem if the people refused to repent. For this he was beaten, mocked, thrown into prison, even lowered into a muddy pit. He cried out in anguish, his heart breaking for his people. That is why we call him the weeping prophet, because his tears were not for himself but for a nation that had forgotten its God. Yet in the middle of judgment, Jeremiah carried a word of hope. He spoke of a new covenant where God would not just write his law on tablets of stone but on the human heart. A covenant of forgiveness fulfilled centuries later in Jesus Christ. Jeremiah's life shows us that truth is costly. Faith can be lonely, and obedience often comes with tears. But his story also tells us this: God's plans of redemption always outlast our failures. Jeremiah was more than a prophet of sorrow. He was a prophet of promise. And just like Jeremiah, we too are known. We are chosen and we are called.